Bitcoin dying? Is Bitcoin dying? Like, is this real? I'm watching one of my favorite YouTubers here, Sonny Decree, and I see he's talking about the Bitcoin death cross. It's inevitable. What does this mean? Is Bitcoin dying? Like, I've put so much money in this space. Like, I've believed so hard in the future. Wait a minute. Let's go look at CoinMarketCap. Let's just see what's really going on. Over 9% down. Look, below 5,800. And Coinbase, I bet you, is below 5,600 already. 181 Ethereum even. Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. Whatever. Come on. Let's not be dramatic. This is ridiculous. So I made this video. I just kind of wanted to spoof. Now, I'm not going to say Sonny Decree did this necessarily, but all these cryptocurrency Bitcoin YouTubers need something to talk about. They're talking about the down market, and some of them literally are acting like the world's falling apart at the seams, and at least the crypto world anyway. And I don't give a rip about a Bitcoin death cross or nothing else. Cryptocurrency is down 10%. Oh my goodness, Bitcoin's dying. That's it. It's over with. Party's over. Everyone forgets that this mess was selling for like, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. We were, under $1,000, under $500? I mean, it's just mind-blowing to me. It is literally mind-blowing to me at how naive some cryptocurrency YouTubers are. And I think that it's because people are literally in this space because they're hopping on a trend. When Bitcoin was running up to, 20,000, it was amazing at the amount of people, YouTubers and whatnot, that were in this space talking about cryptocurrency. I think even Ty Lopez, that guy. Give the guy credit for being a marketer. I don't know what other track record he actually has in real life that anyone could prove, but give the guy credit for being a marketer. But when you see, a mainstream person like Ty Lopez suddenly talking about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and it was obvious he didn't know what he was talking about. But when you see someone like that talking about the crypto space, you realize, wow, there's a lot of people talking about this space, and everybody's jumping on the bandwagon because it's the hot thing. And they're all shocked when it drops in value, and now it's down to 5,700. Listen, I was actually at a conference this weekend, and I heard a guy say he's a serial entrepreneur and multi-million-dollar investor, and he talks about how he manages most of his own investments now. He didn't, but that's a long story, but he manages his own investments. And he said, I became a better investor when I stopped investing from a place of trying to decide whether the market was going to go up or down. In other words, trying to be right. He said, my entire investment strategy now is based on the assumption of being wrong. Now, he didn't go into any details about his investment strategy per se, but I thought when he said that, yeah, that's exactly how I feel about the cryptocurrency space. Like, I'm going to go ahead and call it now. Bitcoin's going to $1,000. It's going to $1,000. And what will that matter for my life? Absolutely nothing. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my strategy in investing, but you need to understand that I don't care if Bitcoin goes to $1,000. Why? You may wonder, how can I feel like that? Because I believe in the technology. I'm here for the technology, and I do believe long-term Bitcoin's going to go through the freaking roof long-term. I believe Bitcoin. I was telling the guy this weekend. He says to me, we're having a casual conversation, and cryptocurrency came up because I'm always trying to talk to people about this space. I mean, I want people to understand this space. And so it comes up in conversations. It's something that I'm excited about. It's something that I'm passionate about. So it simply comes up in conversation. And he said, oh yeah, Bitcoin, isn't that pretty much dead now? And I was like, dead? He goes, well, it can't die, right? But it's pretty much over with, right? People lost a lot of money. I mean, I know they made a lot of money, but they've lost a lot of money, right? And I mean, I didn't say what I wanted to say. I didn't say what was on my mind. I used some restraint. But we started talking about the technology. And when we started talking about the technology, he was like, oh, wow. I mean, he had some questions. Of course, he had the basic questions. Well, what if people hack it? Like, people don't understand how blockchain works. You can't hack it. The technology, the underlying technology for cryptocurrency in general, but we'll say Bitcoin since it's the main dog we're talking about right now. I mean, it's a blockchain. So if you don't, here's what you need to know. If you're in this space and you're speculating on price, you need to learn some of the fundamentals. Now, fundamentals don't ever dictate short-term price movements. Short-term price movements can move independent of fundamentals every time. Every time. But it's the fundamentals that most accurately reflect the long-term price valuation. And I believe the technology behind Bitcoin is going to be a technology that the world cannot, at some point, will get to a place that it cannot exist without it. I believe that since it's been created, since blockchain technology through a decentralized trustless system has been created, it's all about decentralization and it's all about being trustless. The market is going to have it, whether it's governments, corporations, or individuals. This technology is needed for various reasons, and I can cover that in another video. I'm going to do a video on just why I think, literally, I am 100% certain based off my own feelings and my own opinions, and that's not investment advice for you, but that's just my opinion. I am 100% certain that cryptocurrency will hit mass adoption long term. Like, I am 100% certain, and I should do a whole video and just explain that. Let me know down in the comments if you think that I should do a video on that alone. But let's just look at what is a blockchain. Actually, I'm on IBM's website. I thought, wow, this is the easiest, most straightforward explanation ever. How does a blockchain work? As each transaction occurs and the parties agree to its details, it's encoded into a block of digital data and uniquely signed or identified. Each block is connected to one before and after it, creating an irreversible, immutable chain. Blocks are chained together, preventing any block from being altered or block being inserted between two existing blocks. So once the blockchain is created, it can't be undone. It's encoded. How is it encoded? Well, here's a hint for you. It's called a cryptocurrency. It's encrypted. Now, one of the there's two people that I talked to this past weekend specifically about cryptocurrency, and one of the guys, he was really asking some good questions. We were at dinner, and he said, "I don't understand why it couldn't get hacked." And I was explaining, well, maybe one day through quantum computers, there is a question about could it occur, but today, at this day and age, it could not occur. And he was like, "Well, why not?" And I said, "Because it uses encryption." I said, "So, for example, do you bake online?" And he's like, "Yeah, I bake online." And I said, "So how come you're not worried about someone else getting your banking information?" And I said, "But the reason you don't worry about it is because from your computer to the banking computer, it's encrypted. And it uses the best encryption possible today. And so that encryption can't be broken. Typically, if your banking details are stolen, it's not on the transmission of the data from your computer to their computer. If it's stolen, it's usually because there's a virus or something on your computer or the end user, the bank, their computers are compromised. The transmission of data between point A to point B, that entire transmission is encrypted on a secure SSL connection. So there's practically no risk of that encryption being broken, at least with modern technology today. So cryptocurrency it's encrypted. That's how people can verify. The blockchain is what's called trustless. You can verify transactions occur, but you can't change or alter them. So it's a trustless, decentralized blockchain. Now, what does decentralized mean? It means two things. It's important that you understand this. And this is a review. I know some of my viewers understand this. And I'll get to my investment strategies and the way I invest, the way that I do here in a moment. But I feel like I always need to be educating on this channel a little bit because people just don't understand it. They get excited about price movements and they're thinking about, how to get rich quick, but they're not understanding the fundamental technology. And it's the technology, it's the lack of understanding of the technology that will eventually cost most people their fortune. There will be people years from now that will say, "Oh, I was in Bitcoin and I was in at 1,000, it got to 5, it got to 20,000, and I ended up losing all the way down to 5, and then I sold out, but at least I made 400% on my money." They'll be saying that, But at that point in time, Bitcoin will probably be like $50,000, $100,000, $500,000 per Bitcoin. Why is that? Sorry, I just took a sip. Why is that? It's because of the technology. It's because of the technology. So if a blockchain is decentralized, that means two things. It means that no single central authority has control over it. So for example, governments can increase interest rates or decrease interest rates, and you have no control over that. None. Governments can print more currency, and if they do that, it affects you, but you can't control it. If governments print more currency, your savings gets devalued. Your retirement account gets devalued because the dollars of your country are not worth as much because the government's printed more of them. It's called inflation. So governments can make changes because it's a centralized system, and it's called centralized banking for a reason. Here's the other issue. This isn't as a common concern in most developed nations today, but it doesn't mean that it can never be a concern. However, if you were if you were in Russia or China, for example, and you were, doing something the government didn't like, they could freeze your assets. I mean, they could freeze assets in the States usually, but typically it's for criminal activity. But the government could freeze your assets. If they freeze your assets, you can't get access to them. A decentralized blockchain does not allow a central authority to make rules and to change rules that you cannot control. And it doesn't allow the centralized authority to mess with your banking. So one of the reasons that banks in general, banks are almost eliminated by decentralized banking, which I believe we're on the way to that. And that's where everybody's using cryptocurrency exclusively. And we are on the way. It may take us a few years to get there, but that's where we're headed. However, when you have a decentralized model, for example, your Bitcoin, there's no government that can seize your Bitcoin. They cannot take it. And if you memorize your private key, which would take some work, but if you memorize your private keys, no one can take them away from, no one can take your cryptocurrency away from you. They simply cannot do it. They can't freeze it. They can't devalue it. They can't inflate it. They can't print more. And the blockchain can't get shut down. And if you are having a hard time trying to understand why the blockchain can't get shut down, think about like torrents. The reason torrents exist right now, or those of you who remember the days post Napster when you had like LimeWire and things like that, the reason torrents can't get shut down is because there's no central server hosting the data. Torrents, when you're downloading a torrent, you're downloading a file from users, multiple users, potentially all over the world that have that file in their computer. So there's no way to quote unquote shut them all down. It can't happen. It's decentralized. So that technology has a lot of positives as well. It has a lot of positives when it comes to information management, database management, et cetera, that governments would like to use. So the technology is incredible, and it's going places. It's doing things without question. Now, when it comes to me and my form of investing in this space, again, this is me. This isn't investment advice for you. But for me, I'm a huge fan of passive income investing in crypto. And this is my playlist. It's on my channel that I'm currently building out. I did a video this morning right here about Bitcoin fossils, but it's crypto passive income strategy. So in the past, I've really favored investments like real estate, like dividend investing, investing that produces income, cash flow. And the reason that I like that investing is because I don't have to worry about the market. If I buy a house, just to use flat round numbers, if I bought a house for $200,000 and was getting $2,000 a month in rent, I don't care if the market tanks and the house is all of a sudden worth $150 if I'm still getting $2,000 a month in rent. Like, it doesn't matter. And so the cash flow is what's important. The cash flow allows you to buy more assets, especially in cryptocurrency. We're not talking about houses. You can buy some cryptocurrencies for under $1. So when you are earning a dividend or some sort of cash flow, or your investing is doing anything other than just sitting there. I mean, if you just own Bitcoin, which ultimately I use my cash flow, my crypto flow, I guess I should call it, my crypto flow. I use my crypto flow assets to be able to buy more Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's the name of the game long term. But in the short term, I invest in things like masternodes. I use things like, the crypto tab browser. Oh, where's it at? Right here. I use a crypto tab browser. I invest in masternodes. And here's the thing about masternodes. So let's just look at Bitcoin Green. Let's see where that's at. There we go. So Bitcoin Green produces a return. Basically, just for owning Bitcoin Green, you earn more. I'm not sure what it's at now because it goes up and down with the price and changes in the technology. Hold on one moment, I'll let you know. Because I just pulled it up on masternodespro.com. So they're saying right now you'd earn about 100% annual return ROI. So if you open up a masternode, which a masternode would take about $2,500, you would get 100% ROI. Not on the $2,500, you would get 100% ROI on, it takes 1,741. You would get double this number of Bitcoin Greens over the course of a year. In theory, that this isn't all 100% accurate, but you get the idea. You're earning additional Bitcoin Green just for having this, cryptocurrency. Same thing with like Proof of Weak Hands 3D. Same thing with, HDX20. Those are all tokens, all platforms, all cryptocurrency type investments that produce more cryptocurrency just for holding on to them. So you're able to use that to be able to diversify. You can cash out if you wanted to into US dollars just to decrease your cost of holding or your risk for holding. You can do what you want to, but you have choices. You're not just sitting here hoping and praying that the market goes up, the market goes down. And you need to be able to be sane. Here's another thing. Don't ever invest where you can't afford to lose. You don't want to panic in this sort of space. You don't want to be like, oh my goodness, the market's dropping. Holy smokes. Crap, I'm losing my house. That's not where you want to be at. Oh my goodness, look, it's down over 10%. Who cares? Bitcoin's not dying. It's going to be here absolutely forever. I'm going to do an entire video and make the case for you why I like this is going to be a unique video. But basically, it's going to be about why I believe cryptocurrency literally is going to be here for the long haul, and it will eventually get mass adopted. Like I legitimately believe that it will 100% get mass adopted. And I have, at least in my viewpoint, an extremely compelling case. I'll see if I can get that video up tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to get another video up in my series on the crypto passive income strategy. I'll get that up tomorrow morning. Should go out around 8 o'clock. And then I will also get a video up. I'll get a video up. I'll try to get a video up on making the case on why I believe that Bitcoin literally is going to be around forever. And I'll get that video up, and it's going to get mass adopted. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell notification icon. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think Bitcoin is dying? And I'm just curious as well. With the market moving like this, when it's going down, does that cause you to do more research? Like, do you happen to want to do more research, like not so much in technical analysis, but do you do more research related to cryptocurrency? Like what's going on here? Does it cause you to become more aware of the market, more aware of the technology, really, more aware of the technology? I'm just curious. And what are your thoughts and what are your strategies? Here's what you don't see going on right now. I got to say this. You do not see a whole bunch of guys putting up trading videos right now. Why? There's a saying that says, don't confuse skill with a bull market. Man, when the market's going up, you see everybody selling trading courses. They all become, Bitcoin day trading experts. Of course they are. It's a bull market. You can't go wrong. But you sure don't see as many of those people around now. Don't confuse a bull market with skill. Don't forget that. And always be able to invest from a place of defense. Like you just assume that you could be wrong. But even if you're wrong, how does that affect your current crypto strategy? I called it. Bitcoin might go down to 1,000. Do you think it's going down to 1,000? Let me know. And if it does, that doesn't change a thing for me personally. Let me know what your thoughts are. This is probably a controversial topic for some people, but let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you so much for watching. You can go ahead and watch this playlist, by the way, at the end of my channel. I'll go ahead and put it up there on the screen right now so you can click on it and go ahead and start watching this playlist. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have an awesome day.